What's up, guys? It's your boy again, Jordan Larkin, Lace 'em Up Boxing / MMA, and I just wanted to get something off my chest. It has something to do with Anthony Joshua, Luis Ortiz, Vladimir Klitschko, and Tyson Fury. I'm gonna be talking about different boxing topics on this video. And first, but foremost, I was thinking about something, and it was something that was always coming up on Facebook, and it was that Anthony Joshua is getting more credit than Tyson Fury for beating an older Vladimir Klitschko. Now, Klitschko, I believe, was 39 at the time when he lost to Tyson Fury, and many other people was they are praising Anthony Joshua as his next Muhammad Ali, putting him pictures besides Muhammad Ali. I feel like that's a little bit too far because he hasn't achieved his legacy yet. And also, people are completely overlooking Tyson Fury just because he's like 340 pounds right now and that he's not doing nothing in boxing. But when I'm looking on Facebook, I'm seeing that people are giving Anthony Joshua more credit than they are Tyson Fury just because he beat an older Vladimir Klitschko, a person that wasn't even champion. Now, mind you that the Tyson Fury victory over Klitschko, it was a clear victory. Not saying that if it would have went 12 with Anthony Joshua that Klitschko would have won. I believe 1 and 2 judges had Klitschko up. But Tyson Fury, he didn't have no trouble with the champion Vladimir Klitschko. Tyson Fury didn't get dropped by Vladimir Klitschko. Tyson Fury didn't get almost TKO'd in the 5th or 6th round by Vladimir Klitschko. So I just want to address it that why is Anthony Joshua getting more credit than Tyson Fury when Tyson Fury beat him in a better fashion? Now, some people can say, well, Anthony Joshua did knock out Vladimir Klitschko, and he only been knocked out what was there, a decade ago. Now, I agree with that as well, but you gotta think about this. When he beat Vladimir Klitschko, even though he was 39, he was a younger Klitschko. He had what 4 or 5 belts at the time. He was the unified champion. He didn't beat a Vladimir Klitschko who was it 18 months since he been in his last fight, 18 months ago. So I feel like Tyson Fury beat a fresher Vladimir Klitschko. Now, Vladimir Klitschko, he did train his butt off for this fight, and Vitaly Klitschko even said, you know what, this was the best Vladimir Klitschko I've ever seen. So that gotta speak something into saying, you know what, even though Vladimir Klitschko was older, this was his best performance. But I just can't believe that Tyson Fury is just not getting the credit that's due to him for actually opening up the heavyweight division more, instead of just being called names by fans saying that Anthony Joshua going to knock out Tyson Fury. I don't think he knocks out Tyson Fury, but I'm not going to give my prediction until that fight happens. I just think it'll be a good fight. Now, moving along, I want to talk a little bit more about Luis Ortiz and Anthony Joshua fight. I believe the WBA said they will order that fight. The winner of Klitschko and Joshua will fight Luis Ortiz in either October or November. That would be a very good fight for Anthony Joshua, but I think Eddie Hearn Luis Ortiz, he's like the boogeyman of the heavyweight division, kind of like a Gennady Golovkin, but except for no belts. But time is ticking against Luis Ortiz because he's 38 years old. He'll be probably 40 in no time, and he hasn't had a legit title shot. And plus, when champions don't want to fight him, the first excuse they'll bring up is, well, he failed 2 drug tests or he failed a drug test. But meanwhile, Luis Ortiz has been clean for a lot of part of his career. Now he gets drug tested, he's clean, but it's like that excuse always comes up. You know, Deontay Wilder didn't want to fight him when he had a free opponent. Many people saying that Anthony Joshua will duck him. I don't think he will duck Luis Ortiz, but Eddie Hearn will know when the time is right to fight Luis Ortiz. Personally, I think Anthony Joshua will win. I'm not going to break down that fight right now, but I will favor the younger, fresher champion, the more experienced champion as well. And I can say more experienced because if anybody have Klitschko on their resume, you know that it's going to come with the experience plus the Olympic gold medalist that he has as well. Now, Luis Ortiz does have a very deep amateur career as well, but I just think that Eddie Hearn wouldn't be rushing that fight, kind of like Oscar De La Hoya is not rushing Triple G versus Canelo, because he know when the time is right to strike. And a lot of fans are saying that Anthony Joshua is going to duck Luis Ortiz now. But I wouldn't call it ducking because he just fought a very tough fight with Vladimir Klitschko. So Eddie Hearn might not want to take that route as now. Now, completely wouldn't call that ducking. But another thing I got to call Anthony Joshua out on is when he did win that world champion, why did you want to call out Tyson Fury instead of calling out a current world champion like Deontay Wilder or Joseph Parker? You know, why call out somebody who's been out of the ring for 18 months? Now, I know a fight with Joshua and Fury will probably be in a big stadium like Wembley as well. It'll probably sell 90,000 tickets, and they'll probably be both fighters' biggest paydays. But if you want to focus on getting belts and calling out names, I just feel like that's quite interesting to not call out a champion, but to call out a guy who's probably like 50 pounds close to where he want to be to actually compete. And the guy who's probably not even going to compete this year, probably like the beginning of next year, or even in December. But anyway, that was my input in this whole situation thing of how people are saying that Anthony Joshua is going to duck Luis Ortiz. I say that I don't really think so. That fight will happen one day. It may not happen this year, but it will happen if the WBA cracks down on them and order that fight. And I also addressed the why is Anthony Joshua getting more credit than Tyson Fury when Tyson Fury didn't have no trouble with the current world champion at the time, Vladimir Klitschko. But again, that's my boxing talk. I was gonna make this video short today. Lace them up boxing/MMA. Make sure y'all enjoy the fight this weekend and catch the recap I'm gonna be doing against Canelo Alvarez versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Alright, y'all. Peace. Lace them up boxing/MMA. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm out.